So here comes the first principle of female sexuality. In the Tibetan Tantric tradition, the feminine principle is called wisdom. Wisdom is a state of being. It's a state of being. It's not about doing. The masculine principle is skillful action. Right. The wisdom principle holds the bigger picture. The feminine she feels everything on all sides. I don't know if you've noticed that when you make love. We feel everything. Mm-hmm. The men can just be focused here, that's enough for them. But we feel everything, we hear every sound. So also that's symbolic of the nature of the feminine. The feminine is the deep intuitive that senses everything, that can open to the mystery. And so from that place of deep receptivity, we can guide the masculine principle, and also sexually, the lingam entering the yoni. So if we don't open to the unknown, so this yoni, she is a gateway to the mystery. But there's a particular attitude to be understood. The attitude is just a deep letting go, a deep surrender, a deep letting go of all agenda, letting go of all concern about what I look like, how I'm going to perform, if I'm going to impress the man. Because we need to drop really deep in order to really let the yoni open. And so then, I like this image of the yoni being like a lotus flower. Mm-hmm. And when she's closed, when the sun sets, this lotus flower closes. And it closes, as the sun sets, it contracts into itself, and the petals hold the nectar inside. And so in there, in the juice, in the center, is all this precious energy of the feminine held right in there. And so you can feel that in yourself right now as you're sitting there by just contracting your PC muscles. So the PC muscles are the muscles that we use to withhold urine. So just as you're sitting there, just contract those PC muscles, and you feel the yoni closing up, because the perineal muscles run across the yoni and across the anus. So that whole set, there's 8 sets of muscle bands that run across the yoni and across the anus. So closing here, we contain the energy in. So also in our sexuality, when we close those petals, we're basically drawing the sexual energy up. We're drawing it up. In the old paradigm of sex, it was all about getting it out, right? Mm-hmm. So the man wants to get his ejaculation out. And we also want to have our orgasms contracting into our bodies, holding our breaths, and the one big release. I mean, that is beautiful, but it's just a taste of what's possible. And so the natural state of our sexual energy is that she wants to, feel the hold in there, but she wants to move through our whole body. That energy wants to move through all our chakras. It wants to wake up everything. And that's the natural movement of our sexual energy. Why don't we know about this? Because we've had 5,000 years of patriarchy, we've had societal conditioning around our sexuality, and we've got our own patterning which blocks our chakras. And so a lot of the work of Tantra, the work of waking up, is to let go and to unravel whatever is in the way of that energy flow. It's not about forcing through. It's never about forcing. It's about allowing. It's about opening up to what wants to happen, to what really is instinctively there. And so here's this beautiful flower, closing, contracting into itself, holding this juice. I don't know if any of you have ever felt that when you do that, if you contract your PC muscles, it can be very juicy and quite lovely, beautiful sensation. And so that's the nectar it's holding. Then, when we relax those muscles, this beautiful flower opens up, and her petals start to taste the sun as it rises in the morning. Starts to taste the dew. Starts to smell everything. Starts to invite the bees in. And she's got many layers. She's got layer upon layer of delicate, sensitive, dancing energy that just wants to keep on folding open, folding open, folding open. And so the quality of the receptivity of the yoni is that she's just like this exquisite flower that just keeps on opening. And then as the yoni is full, so that here's the lingam entering, but even without entry, opening, and then this energy starts to rise up from the yoni and it starts to move through the second chakra, and it opens up the belly and it starts to move through the third chakra and it starts to open up our power, and then it starts to move through the heart, and it opens us to unconditional love. And then it starts to rise up through the body and it takes us into this movement that in Tantra is called sky dancing. That is the literal translation for the word dakini. And sky dancing happens when the heart kind of flings open, when the sexual energy just takes your body. And at that point, there's a deep, deep surrender. There's no more going back to some kind of personality experience at this point. Because if it hits your throat, its throat is not my will but thine. Now you're going to start morphing and transforming and looking like you won't know what you're going to look like. You might look like in various encounters I've had men say to me that I've started to change age significantly, get really young and then look really old, look like a hag and then look like a young girl, or move between expressions so that I'll look like a wolf, look like a witch. My physical appearance changes completely because the attachment to form drops away. And so that form can become more fluid and can express however it needs to express right now. And so my relationship with my own body as a woman is like that. In the years that I was in my wilderness years, I aged significantly very quickly, and my teacher said, well, clearly that's what you need to look like. You need to look older because existence needs you to look older. And so it's a very different relating to what we look like. Because it's not about, we start to feel as that energy moves that it's, we are not who we think we are. And so here the petals open up and they open up and they open up into the third eye. And then we start to smell states of consciousness shifting in the lovemaking, smelling when new levels of awakening are happening in us or in our partner. Hearing colors, those kind of crossovers of sensations start to happen, deep intuition, deep guidance. And no self. It's like, oh, this is really interesting, this is moving through me. And then finally, the crown chakra, and the greatest orgasm that anybody could ever want for is the orgasm of the crown opening. Because it's just a deep immersion in oneness. And so your lovemaking can be a profound meditation of awakening. The difference between conventional lovemaking and lovemaking as an opening to awakening is that in conventional lovemaking, we're trying to establish a bond between the two of us, you and me. And it's about us. So what we end up doing then is we end up forming these cords between our chakras, between the two of us. And our sexual energy is running like this between the two of us. And we're concerned about what we're looking like, and is he enjoying this, and am I doing the right thing, and the energy is getting really mixed up, and and wanting to stay in the romance of the experience. And so what we do when we make love like that is we actually affirm duality. We affirm that there's a you and a me, and that I need you